my lover. Red is the earth where the Caribs are birth. Whitey Kubuli is the original turf. That's what it was called before Columbus emerged. Sugar cane, the cocoa, for milk and honey. That's what we ate, that's why we're strong and healthy. Sweet, sweet, sweet Dominica, I will love you forever. Sweet, sweet, sweet Dominica, you'll always be my lover.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has announced that construction has begun on the first sample homes under the government's future housing program. In news from the region, Bermuda government further defends decision to seek CARICOM membership. And internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump drops threats of tariffs over Greenland after NATO talks. Good evening, I am Leila Langford. Details of the news when we return.
And you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
So FastPay, 2 minutes and you're on your way. So FastPay, so FastPay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
DBS News.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has announced that construction has begun on the first sample homes under the government's future housing program. The initiative is aimed at providing affordable houses for Dominicans under the age of 45. The Prime Minister confirmed that 3 homes are currently being built.
We have actually started. We are building 2 at Warner and 1 in Cotton Hill. So the idea is to build this as the sample homes, and people can size them up, as we say, get a feel for them. And if they are interested in the design, then we will move ahead with our commitment. And of course, even that 2%, people can benefit from that 2%. To build their homes under the future housing program as well. So that is also part of it. So we're actually building 2 sample homes at Warner and 1 in Cotton Hill, the first 2 sites that we will use for the future housing program.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. The Prime Minister acknowledged that the project experienced some delays due to extended discussions over housing designs.
We spent too much time on different iterations of designs. I think we were trying to build too much of a dream home for people, and we're not being sufficiently pragmatic with our approach. So so we're able to knock our heads and say, well, look, we need to recognize that we're building a first home for somebody, and therefore we need to be a bit less ostentatious in our design and thereby reduce on the cost of construction. And so we're able to find a solution to that challenge. And so we're building 2 at Warner and 1 at Cotton Hill.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Dominica's ambassador to the OACS and CARICOM, Dr. Gerald Jajac, says Dominica is satisfied with the results of free movement among nationals of 4 CARICOM countries. Free movement for nationals of Dominica, Barbados, Belize, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines began in October 2025.
we have recorded some movement from these more so Barbados and St. Vincent into Dominica. But we also noticed that there are many persons who already resided in Dominica from these islands, in particular Barbados, who have been residing in Dominica before the October 1st new movement decision. And so we are able to register these persons who now enjoy rights that they did not enjoy prior to October 1, which is fantastic. Okay, these persons have come forward. But the point is, we have noted that there is a noticeable interest in persons from these islands to come to Dominica. As a matter of fact, a few weeks ago in 2025, a couple that was on a cruise from Barbados visiting Dominica, they came by our office. They came by and they wanted to see the ambassador, they wanted to see me to have a conversation about how they could establish a business in Dominica. As a result, so they said they heard about this new enhanced protocol movement, free movement for persons, and they were interested in benefiting from the opportunities available. And I was very happy to meet them. We sat in my office, a very nice conversation. So they were very keen on that. So we are very pleased with progress so far. Yesterday we had a meeting and there was an update from the various islands, the four islands. We all gave an update on this implementation, and we are pleased with progress so far. And all is well. We are looking forward to the other member states coming on board. And I'm confident that we will have a few coming on board pretty soon.
Dominica's ambassador to the OECS and CARICOM, Dr. Gerald Jacques. National broadcaster DBS Radio has entered a new phase following the launch of its television channel on Digicel. Dominicans can now view streamed programs of the station on Digicel Channel 50. Manager of DBS Radio, Cecil Joseph, says this new development is a step in the right direction.
We are seeing the world itself moving fast. As a radio station, we too have to be as equally fast with the world. And so today we have seen, working alongside with Digicel, we were able to set up our channel 50, where now we will not only hear audio, but now you can see visual, which means that any activity that we would have had in the past, if we have any live program in studio or outside of the studio, we can also carry this live. Complements the work of Digicel. Management at DBS Radio, we have been behind the scenes working on this just to ensure that our both listeners and viewers get quality in our broadcast. So right now we can make available to our viewers not just only shows and events, but funerals. So our clientele, our customers are going to get much more now from DBS Radio.
Manager of DBS Radio, Cecil Joseph. Meantime, Joseph says the station remains committed to improving its quality of service to the Dominican public and the world by extension.
The importance of proper service, the importance of reaching our clientele, the importance of our listeners and viewers now is greater. A situation where we have to ensure that as time goes by, as things are happening, that we have to also be up to date. So with our social media, we are very much up to date. We have found ourselves giving all types of events. We are doing pay-per-view too. So DBS Radio in this new dispensation, I'm very proud that we could find ourselves really helping and improving the service that DBS Radio has always planned to give. And as manager, I want to say that that's not the end. We have just started the new process of development within the corporation. And so today is the 21st day of the month of January, where we are now giving you visual on television.
Manager of DBS Radio, Cecil Joseph. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says the government could contract a loan for the rehabilitation of the Emsall Bridge. The bridge has been damaged over the last 8 years, preventing vehicular access in the area.
This bridge is very expensive. When we went to tender, it came back way higher than what was projected. I think we may have to decide, let's do the bridge and we'll do the other things after. And I'm not ruling out we contracting a loan to do that bridge, because the truth and in fact, with so many retired people up there, I understand the anxiety. and we know that the road by the UE itself is of a concern, a safety concern. And I believe that we have to bring some peace of mind in a definitive manner for the residents there. I'm not ruling out the government taking a loan to build that bridge. I am satisfied that the people of Emswell will see some works on that bridge in 2026.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Meantime, funds have been set aside to address the conditions of certain roads on the island.
I have approved for the complete resurfacing of the Newtown Road from the Newtown Savannah to the bridge at Castle Comfort. So I have mandated that is done, and I've also mandated we resurface the road from Pottersville to the Old Mill as the first phase, because we have to start resurfacing the road from Roseau to Portsmouth. And so the first phase will be from Pottersville, the bridges in Pottersville to Canefield, and the second phase will be from Canefield to Jimmet. And we will take it in the areas, and so complete resurfacing of this. And we also have mandated, and of course you will see that in this year, for the complete resurfacing from Pocassé, the roundabout in Pocassé, to Boadiap, and from Sultan Junction to the river Duglosho in Layo Valley. So these are some of the areas that we're focusing on. And of course, from I have a last section to do in Tebow that we have to do, and we'll do that this year.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Parliamentary representative for the Roseau South constituency, Shakira Lockhart-Hippolyte, will host a health fair in the community of Newtown tomorrow. Hippolyte says this is in an effort to address the issue of non-communicable diseases NCDs in Dominica and to create a healthier society. She's encouraging constituents to take advantage of this initiative.
Tomorrow, January 22nd, 2026, I will be hosting a health fair at my constituency office in Newtown from 9 a.m. I have collaborated with the nurses and doctors at the Newtown Health Center who will be present to attend to and care for my constituents. Blood pressure, sugar checks, and health education and nutrition and dieting counseling will form part of the day's activity. There are so many constituents and other members of the society showing interest in participating in the health fair tomorrow. I believe this fair is timely as we have so many people who are dying or affected or impacted from the chronic non-communicable diseases. The aim is to push prevention and cure and control tomorrow. I want to ask all those who have the time to stop by and do the necessary health checks as we are trying to build a much more healthy Dominica.
Parliamentary representative for the Roseau South constituency, Shakira Lockhart-Hippolyte. Calypsonian Bernard Reds Daru says the entry into the Calypso semi-finals is a major step forward in his short career. Daru, a police officer, advanced to the semi-final in only his second year of competition with a song titled River of Tears. He says, however, he will be expected to do much more to reach the Grand Calypso finals.
Yes, well, I'm new to the Calypso business. It's only my second year, and it's a learning process for me. This year I've managed to reach further than last year. So right now we have the semi-finals coming up, and just getting myself ready for that. First and foremost, we have to pick up the writer Ian Jackson for penning this wonderful song. It's Rivers of Tears. If you look around, a lot of things happening to our rivers, and things we used to do before in the rivers, because the rivers were so, full of life, we can't do it anymore. And a lot of things happen to, like deforestation, pollution, and no one is speaking about it. So I can't say no one, but right now is the opportune time for us to give an outcry for the rivers. Yeah, because if we don't do that, we will lose it. We will lose it in the future. What I recognize as we go along in the competition, it becomes more challenging. It's like I have to do more preparation and more, to get myself ready for the next competition. Because as deeper you go into it, I can see I need to do more so I could score more points so I can reach further. Calypso, I'm new to Calypso, and there's a lot of different things you have to do when you're singing Calypso. I'm certainly not new to stage. So as to being on the stage and being afraid, I'm not afraid of being on the stage. But what I see in the Calypso is a craft, you know. There's a lot of different things that come with Calypso. You cannot just sing Calypso and just sing it. There's a lot more than just singing the song.
Calypsonian Bernard Reds Daru. The Saddam Calypso tent this evening will feature X-Tempo and Sponsors Night. Band leader of Swinging Stars Peter Leta says the Saddam tent is expected to be a major event this evening.
Tonight it's all about the Stardom 10 today, Wednesday, the 21st of January. Let's make it happen. The number one 10, the 10 to 16 of the 20 semi-finalists. I mean, a 10 backed up by the number one band, Swinging Stars. Tonight is all about X-Tempo and Sponsors Night. Entrance fee, $20 for couples, $30. That's $15 each. It can't get better. I expect to see everyone out at the Stardom 10 today at the factory on Valley Road. Let's make it happen. Let's support Calypso. Let's support Calypsonians. Let's support the Stardom tent.
Band leader of Swinging Stars Peter Leta. DBS Radio will bring live coverage of the event from 8:30 p.m. That's the national focus, regional and international developments up next.
Let's make it happen.
It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. Cause the rhythm of life is pumping. Together going strong. No matter what we keep this going. Before we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrate and come let your rhythm flow.
DBS News.
In news from the region, the Bermuda government says any future relationship with CARICOM will be carefully structured to preserve the island's fundamental characteristics. Bermuda's Home Affairs Minister Alex Lightbourne said that administrative visa processing changes do not diminish the standing, dignity, or value of countries. She said language suggesting that such changes downgrade countries and their citizens is neither diplomatically appropriate nor reflective of the mutual respect among regional discourse. Her statement comes in response to concerns about United States immigration restrictions affecting various Caribbean countries. And internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump is dropping plans to add a 10% tariff to goods from 8 European countries over their opposition to his push to acquire Greenland. In a post on social media, Trump says he has formed the framework of a future deal with respect to Greenland after talks with NATO's Secretary General. Earlier, the president ruled out using force to take over Greenland, but said he was seeking immediate negotiations to acquire the land. That's news, the DBS Evening Sports Report. Up next with Gavin Richards.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Well, welcome to the evening sports report. Let's bull off with cricket news. Brandon King got a half century, but his efforts were not nearly enough as the West Indies crashed to another heavy defeat to Afghanistan in the second T20 this afternoon. Well, the Afghans batted first. They made 189 for 4 in their 20 overs. Darish Rasuli got his second half century of the series. He got 68 and Atal 53. Well, Matthew Ford was the pick of the bowlers for the West Indies. He picked up 2 for 25. The West Indies chasing 190 to win. They were 106 for 3 at one point, but they collapsed to be all out for 150. Brandon King got 50. Shimron Meyer 46 of just 17 balls. Mujib ul Raham, he picked up 4 for 24 for the Afghanistan team. So Afghanistan won the game by 39 runs and they now lead the 3-match series 2-0. Here now is the West Indies T20 captain, Brandon King.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when Hetty came, he had a brilliant start, and I think he played a fantastic innings, really kept us in the game. After he got out, obviously, I take the responsibility on myself. I would have had to be the person to finish the game. So, on another day, if I'm facing so many balls, hopefully I'll get more runs, and it would have been easier for everybody else.
I know these games come thick and fast at you, but still, work needs to be done.
Now we've dropped some key players for them. They would help us to restrict them to maybe a lower total. But obviously that's something we keep working on. We have a game tomorrow, and we'd love to improve. We're all professionals, and we're looking to improve.
And that's the West Indies T20 captain Brandon King. The third T20 is set for tomorrow morning, Caribbean time. That game gets underway at 10:30, with the West Indies trailing 2-0 in the 3-match series. Let's stay with cricket news. We got the Windward Islands women's team will be looking to put an end to their 4-match losing streak in the CWI Regional T20 tournament as they come up against the undefeated Leeward Islands tonight. Well, the Windwards have really struggled with the bat in the tournament, and they will take on the Leeward Islands at 7 o'clock tonight. Meantime, in some results earlier today, Jamaica got the better of Trinidad by 3 wickets, and Barbados, they defeated Guyana. Barbados, with that victory over Guyana, has earned a spot in the finals, where they will take on the Leeward Islands in the finals. Let's stay with cricket news. The International Cricket Council, the ICC, has given the Bangladesh Cricket Board one more day to discuss with the Bangladesh government to decide whether their team will travel to India to play the 2026 T20 World Cup. Bangladesh are in Group C at the T20 tournament, and they are scheduled to play the West Indies in India on the 7th of February. If Bangladesh continues to refuse to play in India due to security concerns, the ICC board has decided to replace them with Scotland based on team rankings in the tournament. The decision was taken at an ICC board meeting today, where the majority of directors voted in favor of a replacement team if Bangladesh stuck to their stance of not playing in India. It is understood that out of the 15 directors present, only Pakistan supported the Bangladesh Cricket Board. Like we said, Bangladesh, they're in Group C of the T20 World Cup, and they're scheduled to face the West Indies in India in their first game on the 7th of February. In some more sports this evening, the defending secondary schools boys volleyball champions, the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, they picked up a comfortable win over the Academics as that tournament continued this afternoon at the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School grounds. The ITSS took the match 3-1. They won comfortably 25-21, 25-17, 22-25, and 25-20. In some basketball news this evening, Vice President of the Dominica Amateur Basketball Association, Yannick Regis, has given the commitment that the DABA will play games in Marigot in the coming season once the community has a team in the National League. Regis says that the DABA is looking to decentralize basketball in 2026 and play a number of games in the out districts. He says the DABA was encouraged by the successful staging of the Neville Muspear basketball tournament.
Well, Gavin, this is what we encourage from our executive. This year we are on a mission to bring basketball to the out districts. Marigot is one that we're hoping that they will have a team in the league. We'll try and work with them so that they can have a team in the league so we can bring and have some national games to Marigot as well as some other areas that we're looking into. I'm very, very excited about the opportunities we have in the out districts in terms of Marigot, maybe Portsmouth. So we're looking to work with them, Gavin. We are executive that is all-inclusive. So we're definitely looking forward to bringing basketball to Marigot and Portsmouth as well as potentially Lapland. So I can't excuse the new court that is going to be open in Trafalgar. Trafalgar has been a basketball home, and we're going to try and bring basketball back to Trafalgar as well.
And that's the Vice President of the Dominica Amateur Basketball Association, Yannick Regis. National footballer Ethan Nichols is hoping his move to St. Kitts can unlock even greater things in his footballing career down the road. The versatile midfielder and defender is joining Development Bank St. Peter's FC in the St. Kitts Premier League. Nichols, who played the last season for Valvoline United, says he's excited with the move.
Yes, well, I got recommended by one of the players to the coach, and then he messaged me and he told me he likes how I play and thing, and he wants me to come and play for his team, and then I agreed.
All right, and how excited are you with that sort of move?
Well, I'm very excited. It's a different opportunity. I accustomed of playing Premier League in Dominica, where it will be a foreign team I played for, so I'm very excited and ready to be part of the team.
In terms of this move, I mean, that's the first step. I'm sure you have even bigger moves, so how do you think this is going to help you, to fulfill your dream to get to the highest level?
Well, it's a good move. It will serve as a stepping stone, because seeing that I play outside of the country, I'll be exposed to different coaches and different systems and different things. So that will be a very good exposure for me.
People, which would have helped you to get to this point. I mean, I'm sure your club and whatnot. Anybody you want to, big up right now?
Well, first of all, Coach Stanton and Coach Serafin Goshin was very instrumental in my development. And when I moved to United, which was a bit controversial, but Manage, Yvette, and LB and Coach, even Ruby, they was helping me along the way. And
have any fears as you're moving to St. Kitts? What do you think would probably be your biggest challenge?
Well, I'm not really scared. I am more excited. But my biggest challenge, I just hope I adapt and stay injury-free.
And that's the national footballer Ethan Nichols. Well, let's go back to some volleyball news, because results are still coming in as the secondary schools sports division volleyball tournament continues today. I can tell you that there was a comfortable win again for the St. Mary's Academy. They got past the Goodwill Secondary School in straight sets. SMA won that game 25-14, 25-16, and 25-21. Earlier on, we also told you that the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, the defending champions, they picked up a 3-1 win over Academics. In some more sports this evening, the Minister of State with Responsibility for Sports, Senator Oscar George, says some work will be done on the Winter Park Stadium outfield to restore it to international standards. The outfield has received some damage following the staging of the World Korea Music Festival, along with the ongoing restoration of the lights. George says that $100,000 has been budgeted to address the outfield.
Well, normally after every festival and every major activity at the Winter Park, there's routine maintenance that has to be done. Normally we spend in the region of just above $100,000 to repair the outfield, and that involves buying grass, replanting all the grass, ensuring that everywhere is leveled, ensuring that any hole that appeared while in use that it can be rectified and stuff like that. But it's something we commit to every year. Every year we normally have a contractor working with the Ministry of Sports to ensure that the outfield is satisfactory. Also, as indicated by the contractor, he was generous enough to supply a sprinkler system to the Winter Park. And that is a problem we normally had in terms of this irrigation system. So we are happy that he can provide this. It will greatly support the maintenance and operations at the Winter Park Stadium. And of course, as you can tell, there was some damage done as a result of the project in terms of the staircase and stuff like that. So he also commit to repair these things and make it better than they were previously. So I think that we're looking good as long as the project can be completed and the other additional works to ensure the facilities is there and top class. We should be looking good.
And that's Senator Oscar George. Well, he's hopeful of international cricket returning to Dominica before the end of the year.
Yeah, we've been having discussions with CWI, Cricket West Indies, on this. They are aware of the stage at which we are in terms of the lighting project. They also have been in discussions with the contractor directly. So they're on board. We're looking at later down in the second half of the year to have international cricket back at the Windsor Park. There's some discussions for having some youth games before that, some practice games to at least, use the lights and test the lights, commission the lights and stuff like that. But that is something that we'll communicate at a later date. But the discussions with Cricket West Indies is ongoing. They have been very understanding with us, I must confess. Obviously, everybody wants to see cricket in Dominica, but they understand that the lighting is very important, and they see the bigger picture, so they're working with us in that regard.
And that's Minister of State with Responsibility for Sports, Senator Oscar George. And New Zealand batter Daryl Mitchell has dislodged Virat Kohli to regain the top spot in the ICC men's ODI batting rankings after an outstanding run in the 3-match series against India. While New Zealand, they won that series 2-1 to clinch their first ever ODI series win in India. Mitchell capped the series with a career best 137 in the final match and was named the player of the series after he finished with 352 runs. Mitchell, who had scored 84 and 131 not out in the first 2 matches, is now at a career best 845 rating points, the second best by a New Zealand batter after Glenn Turner's 854 in June of 1983. Well, that's where we'll come to the end of the DBS Evening Sports Report. Of course, we'll have some more sporting highlights for you tomorrow morning. On behalf of the entire News and Sports Department, our links person Ivona Jean-Baptiste Luge, I'm Gavin Richards saying good evening.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Time now for the death announcements on the Community Bulletin Board. This evening we have 5 death announcements. We announce the death of Julie Hendricks Dumas, better known as Imbui, of Vioche, who resided in Salisbury. He died on Friday, 16th January. He was the husband of Titina Dumas nee Barry. He will also be remembered by his 3 adopted sons, Dilmas Alexander, Aiden and Blessing Ballot, 1 adopted daughter, Jancelyn, 1 sister, Zina Langley, 3 brothers, Clement in St. Martin, and Ozzy and Eric Dumas in Dominica, 1 aunt, Millicent in Bioche, 22 nieces including Juanita, Lucia, Diane, Nadine, Rosie, Valina, Olive, Mioli, Delrin and Cynthia Bellot, 16 nephews including Lloyd and Devon, grand nieces and nephews, too many to mention, 1 brother-in-law, Maslin Barry, 2 sisters-in-law, Vivian and Neuraline Dumas, 1 aunt-in-law, Ma Magnus in St. Joseph, caretaker, doctors and nurses of the Salisbury and St. Joseph Health Center, close friends and family, Hasford Owen and family, Mr. and Mrs. Joseph John Charles, Leonie Thomas in St. Thomas, Esther Kazibi and family in St. Martin, and Viola in Anguilla, Wayne, David and Andrew in Portsmouth, Karam, O'Neill, Arthur, Mr. and Mrs. Davis Shillingford and family, Alexia Alexander and family, Sims and family, Lucy and family, Ursuline and family, Ziggy and family, Kids and family in Anguilla, Estenel and family in Anguilla, Andrew and Raymond and family in Guadeloupe and London, the Taverniers in Massac, the St. Luce family and friends in the neighborhood, the pastors and members of the First Baptist Church and the Christian community in Salisbury, the vendors and customers at the Roseau and Portsmouth markets. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Gentle Rest Funeral Service, Inc. The body of the late Julie Hendricks Dumas, better known as Imbui of Bioche, who resided in Salisbury, can be viewed from 2 p.m. on Monday, 26 January, at the Salisbury First Baptist Church. The funeral service will take place at 2:30 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Gospel Hall Cemetery. We announce the death of Noreen Oglastia St. John Nee Edwards, age 85, of Wesley, who resided in Calibishi. She died on Thursday, 1st January at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. She was a former member of the Calibishi Golden Age Group. She was preceded in death by Moore Telemac, Monet, and Sparrow St. John, parents Muriel Edwards and Godfrey Edwards. She was the wife of Tutile St. John. She was the mother of David and Lawrence St. John and Rosie Francis in Calibishi, Annette St. John and Donna Hatton in Antigua.